So in the last video, we went over the basics of Citizen DJ, starting with the Explore tool to find sounds within a collection, and then using the Remix tool to create a simple house beat. This time, instead of going back to the home page to find a sound, I'll stay in the Remix tool and click the drop down at the top of the page to change the collection. After doing this, the page will refresh and a random sample and pattern will be loaded by default. If I click Shuffle item, I can quickly shuffle through different sounds within the collection. And if I click Previous Pattern or Next Pattern, the sound will be chopped and rearranged in slightly different ways. I can also click the sample drop-down to see all the sounds available within the collection and choose one that looks interesting. To quickly preview the sound, I can click these little play icons. Like before, I'm going to clear the pattern so I can build up the beat from scratch. To do this, I can just click on the little squares to turn the notes off. Now that the pattern is clear, I can click the play button and add a snare to beats 2 and 4 to get started. Footwork has a much faster tempo than hip hop or house, so I'm going to drag the BPM slider to 160 beats per minute. Footwork also has more complicated rhythms, often created by stacking several simpler rhythms on top of each other. For example, while the snare is playing on 2 and 4, I can add a kick drum on every third note. You can also think about this as leaving 2 empty spaces between each kick. By soloing the different parts, you can hear how stacking simple rhythms can quickly build complexity. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and try to add just a few more drum sounds. One challenge with the Remix tool is that there's no way to turn off the swing feel. At slower tempos, a swing feel can help a pattern sound more relaxed and natural. At faster tempos, however, a swing feel starts to sound a little strange. For instance, if I try and add hi-hats on every note, here it sounds a little messy, like the notes are crowding each other and not evenly spaced. It would sound much more steady and even if I could turn off the swing, but that doesn't seem possible. However, I can work around this by leaving more space between notes so the swing is less noticeable. Okay, let's pause for a second and go back up to the sample and start layering a melody. To keep things simple, I'll start by copying the pattern of the kick drum and then start moving things around. Like before, I can adjust settings for the sounds while the pattern is playing. Since the tempo is so fast and the pattern is so short, it's nice to be able to change the sounds and create some variety so that the beat doesn't sound too stale or repetitive. Once you have something you like, you can save the pattern to the browser, share the link, download an MP3 of the pattern, or you can record a live performance of the pattern. So the goal of these videos was to see if we could create other styles of music other than hip hop using the Citizen DJ tool. I think it's safe to say yes, it's definitely possible. You can create any style of music with Citizen DJ or any other software really, in spite of limitations. Hopefully you feel inspired to try this out yourself, and thanks to Brian Fu for creating this project.